Yeah, I know it.
She said sometimes it translates off screen also. But Nandini, adding to that, what she said, roles are not being written for women.
Yeah.
Do you think that's still a big problem?
Absolutely. I mean, I can't see why an Ulolukku can't happen in other languages, Absolutely gripping film. But on the other hand, I would like to see Ulolukku go and make 50, 60 crores.
Right.
That should happen. Not just the amount of money and critical acclaim it's made. I would like to see it do a Manjumel voice. So, well, the thing is that today also 70 to 80% of your audience is male. And the age group is 18 to 23. So you have to be very precise right now what your landing ground is. Because right now our attention span is literally that of an Insta reel. Because that's our attention span, 2 minutes. You have a start, middle and a finish. And people are constantly doom scrolling now. So we are so overstimulated. We don't have the patience to sit through cinema like we used to. So you have to get that hit very, very fast. Now within that, add this percentage that your audience is largely male. It is largely in this age segment. Now just keep narrowing it down and then you'll understand the problem. So the economics just don't make sense. So how do we crack that? How do we get our Barbie? That's the question.
Yeah.
Well, at least we should have strong roles for women in the
Within that, I agree. Absolutely.
But does this mean that women have to resort to producing their own films to kind of make a mark? Is that what it is?
It will take many things. I don't think there's one solution. See, anybody who's producing the films today, I think you need to be aware of the ground reality. Because I would want every producer at a minimum to make their money back. It's not an agenda we're trying to put forward. At the end of the day, you have to make your money to make another film. That's the simple thing. So you have to be aware what you're making and for whom you're making at the very minimum.
Okay. But despite all these challenges, there have been successful, strong female films that have done well. What do you attribute the success of that to? Is it the actor themselves, the talent, is it the story, or is it a combination of all this, Ramya?
I think it's a combination, yeah. And I think at the base of it is the story.
Yeah. I think it's many things. You see, sometimes we'll see a very good film which didn't work. It will be because the release timing was bad. So many things. So it's got to be a combination of things, but the platform on which everything is built is a good story. Of course, there are times when sometimes it's the most ridiculous story. It would have worked. Why would it have worked? Because the songs were great or the star's charisma was so magnetic. You're seeing him or her in a completely different light. Certain blocks would have worked. So you don't know, every time the mood is also shifting. So by the time you start a film to when it lands, the ground has again completely shifted. How have you marketed the film? What were the other releases at that time? So many things. It's a very, very, very complex business, which is why I say only crazy people come into this life.
Okay. So Ramya, as an actor, when you have such a strong market, you've seen so much of success. What do you think about the pay disparity? Do you think heroines, are paid on par with heroes? Why has that not happened till today?
I really don't know. In fact, I had, most of my films I worked with, like today, who are like superstars who are not known that much when I did films with them, and they were paid less than me. But then once the film became a hit, the next film, the hero was paid like maybe 50 times more than what he was paid, for the film that we would have done together. And I would have gotten paid maybe like 5 times more. That's it. So that's the kind of difference. We worked together. He was relatively unknown. And then we do a hit together. And then he gets paid in crores. And I'm still like trying to hit that 1 CR, So that of course exists, and I don't know why. They think, it's a hero na nodake bartare jasti jana anta. But I think if there was no hero, and I don't even know if people would still go and watch movies, right? I think we're equally contributing to the film. Having said that, I have in the past, I have refused to do films because I wasn't being paid as much as I was expecting to be paid. Only because I wanted to prove a point that no, unless I'm going to be paid equally or more, I'm not going to do a film. So I have let go of films just for that, because I think that women must be paid equally, not just in films, even otherwise. I've had friends who work in the corporate field as well, and she's doing the same job as the other person, but then she got to know that he was being paid a lot more only because something with his education or something like that. I don't understand you, but you're doing the same job, right? So I don't think it's just in the films, but I think it exists everywhere. Women are just paid less than
Nandini,
men.
Preetha,
Yeah, it's the truth. It's a universal truth.
But how do you guys negotiate when
I
because
think,
your job is also quite unique.
Yeah,
I mean,
so I think with technicians, with directors at least, it's a little different. If yeah, no, it's not that we get. I will get paid commensurate with my last Friday.
That's
So,
what I'm
yeah.
saying. Even for a technician, it becomes
Yeah.
like, what was your previous film? How much did you get paid for
Yeah.
that? Sometimes, if the previous film is a big box office hit, I can demand more.
Yes.
So there is really no science to it.
Yeah, but the actors, one more thing I would like to say, okay, they have this whole theory of box office pull and blah, 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 blah. Let me put aside lead actors for now, but even among character actors, two character actors of a similar stature, there would again be a difference. The male actors always paid more, so that exists. How's it in the media?
Why is the poor industry gossip?
No, I want to know because we are like the poster boys for everything that's horrible. Pay parity, sexual discrimination industry. I want to
you guys are
know.
in the glam world.
You guys are the one behind the camera doing all that.
What is it? You're just laughing. You're not
Yeah, tell us.
We will move on.
She doesn't want to answer controversial questions.
So, that's interesting that you said that. But have ever any heroes batted for your pay? Has any male?
Well, let me just add one more point to that. On that one point, something I just came to know recently and I was very happy. Samantha's producing her first film and she told me there is pay parity. She made it a point.
that's fantastic.
The male and the female actors, she made it a point that they're paying absolutely the same. I was so proud of her. Absolutely so proud.
You're directing the film.
No, that's a film that's already completed.
That's already
Yeah,
completed.
yeah.
So, are you doing a film with her? We'll keep that for another conversation. Okay, I won't embarrass you. So, Preetha, talking about technicians, what are you in your field as a cinematographer? How are you trying to get in more women into your field, which is so specialized?
So we have formed this Indian Women Cinematographers Collective, as in Fauzia, Fatima, few DOPs from Bombay. They started the initiative. So we have about roughly 200, 300 women aspiring cinematographers, and not just cinematographers, gaffers, focus pullers, assistant.
I didn't know they're
cinematographers.
focus
Yes.
pullers.
Yes.
That's so happy.
Everyone under one umbrella. It's actually a website and a WhatsApp group, but it's a really nice nurturing space where a lot of technical knowledge is shared, and many of us, if we have requirements for assistance, take on the girls who are interested, who are part of the group. Of course, even ISC, I'm part of ISC. I recently did a mentorship, and I had a girl who mentored under me. So yeah, sharing the whatever I've learned, industry experience as well as the knowledge, hoping that it will create more opportunities.
What was the name of the group? again?
IWCC.
IWCC. So, in case anybody is interested, you can look that up. Ramya, of course, there's so many actresses who are coming in today, right? Fresh talent, constantly, across every industry, right? From the time you started till the kind of films that you see today, how much have the roles for women evolved, gotten better? Or is it, do you see still, like, other than some, women-oriented films, do you see them, do you see any progress? Is it progressive for women on screen?
Yeah, for sure. I would, I think Gantu Mute was an excellent film, directed by Rupa Rao. Then there was another film, smaller film, I don't think many of you watched it, but I loved it. It's called Hadnelu Hadnentu. I loved the film, okay. And then there's also Sindhu, who just directed Acharya and Co. I love that film as well.
Acharya and
Yeah, and then in Sapta Sagara, I really liked Ruchi Milo as well. Yeah. So I think it has definitely evolved over the years. And I think I wish there'd just be more of it. Yeah.
Nandini, as a director, how are you picking and choosing your subjects, and does the feminine angle come at all, or is it I just want to make a good movie which the audience is going to love?
No, I can't sit and try to be conscious of that. I mean, that's organic, right? Every choice that I make comes from the fact that I'm a woman. So it comes from every feminine experience that I've had in my life. That's automatic. I don't have to particularly think about that. But I think naturally I have always fleshed out strong women roles because that's my experience in my life. I have strong women in my life. I like to see strong women characters. Hemant Rao is one of my absolute favorite directors and dear buddy. And SSD, I mean, I've made no bones about the fact about how much I've loved the film. And
Sapta
Sagar Dachihelo. And both the films were absolutely stunning. And I think there are brilliant young filmmakers now who are writing amazing roles for women. And I have great hope that this new generation of filmmakers are writing much more complex characters. You know, in fact, Preetha's done one phenomenal film, which is making a lot of noise.
Yes, Bad Girl, Vetriman
Yes.
produced it.
Superb.
Yes. It's creating a lot of buzz because I
Yes.
think people are unable to accept that a woman can be complex.
Complex, yeah.
She's not perfect, and the director has repeatedly said she's just a flawed character, but there's a lot of backlash.
But
The other thing that would contribute to a success is backlash. I'm sure
Yeah, I think you all are on the right track.